Today is the only confirmation I need that Jay-Z is dead terrified of what he knows is the inevitable. And you could tell how scared Jay is because the Jay Avengers are already rushing to get ahead of the narrative. And no disrespect to Charlamagne the God, because that's my top 2 media personalities of all time. But they're already rushing to get ahead of a narrative that hasn't even been put out there. Ray Daniels have found himself as public enemy number 1 for Jay Avengers because Ray Daniels dare reported a source that he got about Jay-Z and his potential album, right? The crime against humanity that Ray Daniels committed was reporting something on Jay-Z that he was told. And what he reported was Jay-Z has his album done already, but Jay-Z has not dropped his album because Jay-Z is waiting on a partner to help him promote the album so he don't flop.
Learn from Hove. Hove is not going to put himself out there to be laughed at. It's just, I'm not doing 60,000, y'all. By the way, I'll tell you something that I know I heard about on the Jay-Z tip. Just a little quick update. His album is done.
Okay.
It's completely done. It's just, we might get it if somebody partners with him. If nobody partners with him, it's not coming.
Wow.
Hey, he is not playing about his. You cannot play about your brand.
You said this like a month ago.
Yeah, you can't. Somebody called and confirmed it from me, so I was like, okay, I just want to reveal it on the team.
He's not gonna have.
You heard it here first.
Heard it here first. Let's go.
Does first week sales at this point even matter?
I don't think so, bro.
It only matters to the industry and the people that want to laugh at you. If the industry matters, that's the only time. It's nothing.
Because back in the day, if you didn't sell a certain amount, you was dropped immediately.
Nigga, you was they answer your phone.
Hell no. If you didn't do 100,000, you was out
done.
Of
That was
You're
the
done.
magic number.
Yep.
That was the major number.
You had to be big. It was either you bigger than 100,000 first week or you smaller. It was 2 ways of measuring.
Yep, that was it.
Here's the unique part about that. Ray Daniels ain't even used the word flop. All Ray Daniels said was, Jay-Z don't want to sell 60,000. Ray Daniels ain't never said 60,000 was a flop. He just said, hey, Jay, man, Jay don't want to sell no 60,000, man. So Jay is holding off on his album. He's trying to find any partner he can partner up with to work on the rollout and promotion so he could do numbers. At the very least, he do something like he did with Sprint back in the day where Sprint bought up 1 million copies before Jay dropped the album, bro. Jay went platinum on day 1. Right? So he trying to finagle something of that sort so he don't gotta look at 60K because he knows. He knows Academics got the load up button already ready, man. Academics already got the load up button ready for that first week sales, man. Do I believe somebody told Ray Daniels that? Absolutely, I do. Why would Ray Daniels lie? And let's stop being dense here, bro. Let's cut the flop conversation. Let's cut the 60K conversation, bro. We know ultimately Jay-Z does not want to lose to Drake. He don't want to drop this album and then do 30,000 and then Drake fans, right, got to talk about it for the next 6 months. He doesn't want that torture.
He's 110% not going to outsell Drake. I believe even if he partners with somebody, who's he going to partner with? Like if we're talking features or whatever, I just can't see it happening. I can't see him outselling Drake or even holding a candle to Drake's album.
Personally, I think it's unfair to even compare Jay-Z in year, 40 to Drake. Jay-Z is not an active rapper anymore. Drake is. But here's the thing. Jay-Z and Roc Nation, right, just got exposed by What's the Dirt. Like, What's the Dirt already exposed how obsessed they are with Drake. They now have to take every measure to downplay their obsession with Drake. So you know what they did when Ray Daniels came online and Ray Daniels, let that T go, pause, and said, hey, bruh, they told me, they desperately searching for a partner and they ain't dropping his album until they find a partner to make sure Jay-Z don't sell 60,000. You know what Roc Nation did? Roc Nation, for the first time on earth, like I've never seen Roc Nation do this. They took to their Instagram story to respond back to a Twitter clip with 50,000 views. That's how you know Ray Daniels is telling the truth. Roc Nation posted to their Instagram story, in quotations, album done, quoting Ray Daniels and saying that quote, the album done, is fake news. Jay-Z's album is not done, according to them. Now, the reason why they said this is to also double respond to the narrative that Jay-Z is waiting to drop his album so he could find a partner. They're saying, no, that's not true at all. Now, I ain't never seen Roc Nation do this. Like, the last time I seen Roc Nation put out a statement like this was when Busby, right, try to end Jay-Z and send his career to the gulags. That's the last time I seen Roc Nation put out a statement like this Okay, so for Roc Nation to do this, it tells me everything I need to know. Here's what's more surprising to me than a Roc Nation post. The consensus is actually split. Like, people are actually divided on this. Like, I was expecting for people to be cooking Roc Nation wholeheartedly, but apparently that's not the case. Because one person posted, Roc Nation mad he spoiled the surprise, but they basically just confirmed the album even exists. Somebody says, see how easy it is to just let someone claim to be an insider? Nobody asked for him to lie. He just did it to try and gain credibility. Ray Daniels is like an ex-music executive. Like, Ray Daniels signed NLE Choppa and other people. I don't think Ray Daniels is putting his credibility at risk like that, bro. Yo, if Ray Daniels was like, I don't know, bro, like the Schmo Joe podcaster, right, then I'm probably looking at that like, all right, like, who's your sources? But Ray Daniels is a former music exec. Like, Ray Daniels, is an exec. Like, he was signing artists that we all know. So I don't think he has no sources, right? So somebody says, too late. The think pieces and tinfoil hat tweets already started. So this person believes that Ray Daniels was lying as well. Somebody says, Ray Daniels, the same MF that was pushing the narrative that Roc Nation gave Fat Joe the green light to speak down on J. Cole, because Joe signed a Roc Nation and Dumbass Ninjas was really believing him. Again, Roc Nation mad Ray Daniels spoiled the surprise, but he basically just confirmed the album even exists. It's really split down the middle. Like, this is really split down the middle. Like, people can't call it. Listen, do I got a problem with Jay-Z? I got a problem with how Jay-Z moves. It's nothing personal. So as an unbiased, neutral voice here, I can tell you from my perspective, my confirmation, right, that Roc Nation was lying and Ray Daniels was telling the truth, my personal confirmation was when I seen how the J Avengers started moving. When I seen Charlamagne the God run to the Breakfast Club to give Ray Daniels Donkey of the Day over a Twitter post. Come on, bro. Like, come on, cuz. Like, what else y'all need to know, man? Let me ask y'all a real question here. What other than the truth would require this level of damage control? Roc Nation damn near recruited the entire J Avengers to go at Ray Daniels today.
Yesterday, Ray Daniels got it really wrong. See, he was on his podcast, Ray Daniels Presents, I believe it's called, and he said definitively, okay, without a shadow of a doubt, that Jay-Z had a new album coming out. Well, you need to block that somebody, Ray, okay? Because Roc Nation, who I work for, allegedly, replied to that commentary by posting in their story, album done, in air quotes, fake news, okay? There is a part of me that wishes Roc Nation didn't even do that, because in a lot of ways, things like that are validation for the Ray Daniels of the world. And that's really why I'm doing this donkey this morning. See, nobody cares about having a voice that has actual value. People only care about going viral by any means, okay? I know Ray is loving this attention, okay? This is what these guys do this for. They don't care about being right. They don't care about having credibility. They just care about attention. They just care about being acknowledged. But I'm here to tell you, that's not sustainable, okay?
Charlamagne the God is my top 2 media personalities of all time. But I hate this so much, bruh. Because Ray Daniels is such a good dude. Bro, Ray Daniels don't deserve this, man. Bro, you don't know if he's lying. Well, yo, what if Roc Nation is capping? Right? So we just take, okay, so now the new metric is, if you have a source that report on something, and the person you are reporting on comes out and contradicts it, that means you're lying. So that person can't be lying, right? So if I report and says, hey, yo, my source tells me, yo, homie right there, he be whooping on his wife. And we see domestic violence charges in the past. And then he come out and said, nah, he lying. I don't know what he talking about. Nah, hell nah, he capping. That means I'm a liar. So whenever you report on someone, telling the truth or not, if that person comes out, they get the final say on bro, people lie. People lie for less. Companies, infrastructures lie for less. So automatically go with Roc Nation is telling the truth, Ray Daniels is lying within 12 hours of seeing that Roc Nation post, to me is bias. And it's not okay, right? Because you play with people's livelihoods here, bruh. Ray Daniels has a podcast. His podcast is relying on credibility. You don't know if Ray Daniels is telling the truth. You don't know if Roc Nation is lying or not. You just running with what Roc Nation says because they said it. Man, that's not no proof. And to claim that Ray Daniels, who is a music executive, somebody who has signed one of the biggest artists in the world, to say that he is just making up things, he's just lying out the blue, out of nowhere, because he wants clout, he wants the attention, I think that's not fair, especially for someone with the credentials that Ray Daniels have. Again, I can understand if you're making this post about Joe Schmo with no connections to the industry whatsoever. Understood. But to call that man out publicly like that with no research, no confirmation, nothing whatsoever outside of Roc Nation said it, so it must be true, is bad and is not okay. Now, as Charlamagne the God continues to talk, he just gets more brutal, bro. He goes in on Ray Daniels. Now, Ray Daniels have not responded back to this yet, so I don't know what his response would be. But this is cold work, man, from Charlamagne. This is just cold work from Charlamagne, bro. Because he goes deeper. He goes beneath the surface, and he reveals a personal conversation that him and Ray Daniels had that was off the record. And he exposed that personal conversation to stick up for Jay-Z, which to me is kind of like, bruh, you doing this, you lose a lot of trust in this industry, bruh, because ain't nobody trying to have no conversation with you off the record if you go and bring it on air.
You know, Ray told me once himself, I only met Ray once in my life. I think I talked to him twice, once on the phone, and I met him because he was at the Black Effect Podcast Festival earlier this year in Atlanta. And he said to me that he only started podcasting, and he only says the things that he says because he wants another job in the music industry. I don't even know what that means, okay, because I thought he was in the music industry already. But he said to me, saying the things he says gets him attention from these music industry folks I guess he's trying to work with.
Listen, we got to call a spade right now. I'll be real. Ray, if that is true, Ray, hold on, man. Hold. I want to preface my statements by saying this, okay? I've never met Ray Daniels, okay? Me and Ray Daniels are not buddy, okay? Ray Daniels, for the most part, he does good work. I respect his work. Hopefully he respects mine. I don't know Ray Daniels like that. But if Ray Daniels told Charlamagne the God this, then we got to take a step back in defending Ray Daniels, bro. If Ray told Charlamagne the God this, because that's not the idea I get from Ray Daniels. When I hear Ray Daniels speak, that's not the character I retrieve from Ray Daniels. The character of who I think Ray Daniels is somebody who is serious about his business and who is knowledgeable. If Ray Daniels is telling Charlamagne the God this, that's crazy. Now, what's even more crazier, Charlamagne the God, is you exposing a personal conversation y'all had on behalf of Jay-Z. And you only do this for Jay-Z, right? But you'll get away with this if you're telling the truth. Like, if Ray Daniels told you that, then you'll probably get away with this because you exposing a personal conversation is not more damaging than what he actually told you. But you shouldn't be revealing and exposing personal conversation that was told in confidant, right? You know, like, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of odd. All right. Now, Charlamagne the God didn't just stop here. All right. He really wanted to bury Ray Daniels' career within this 5 minutes of Donkey of the Day. Because he continued, right? He had more to say regarding Ray Daniels.
Well, Ray, when you get things so wrong consistently, all you do is show people exactly why you don't have a job in the music industry, okay? You call yourself a cultural referee. Well, when a sports referee consistently makes incorrect calls, major professional leagues and amateur organizations use internal gradings to hold them accountable, and poor grades directly lower an official's ranking within their league. Oh, your ranking's pretty low right now, Ray. Okay, look, I don't know what your grade is amongst people who don't know any better. Okay, the regular everyday person who gets on YouTube and listens to you might swear by you because they don't know any better. But to someone like me, you get an F at your worst, a C+ at your best. Well, actually a C-. A C- at your best. Okay, because majority of the time I listen to you, I think to myself, is there anyone on planet Earth who knows less about what's going on in the music and podcasting business than Ray Daniels? Just my opinion, Ray. Okay, and I know you think I work for Roc Nation. Okay, I've heard your commentary on it. So you're going to try to say Roc Nation paid me to say this, but this is just all my opinion.
Hold on. It just hit me. This is the first time ever. I take that back. I don't think Charlamagne, again, I still think Charlamagne the God is running narratives for Roc Nation because that's his job. You know, he's a part of Roc Nation, right? Of course. Like, that's like, for example, like, yo, Flacco, right? Somebody who works for me, you better put narratives out there on my behalf. But I think this thing with Ray Daniels is a little personal. I think the Ray Daniels and Charlamagne the God issue is personal. And the reason why I think it's personal is because of what he just said. And then it hit me. Oh, no. Ray Daniels was the first person to reveal personal conversation that Charlamagne the God and him had. Ray Daniels told us that when he said something about Jay-Z and Roc Nation, Charlamagne the God called him to correct the record. And he felt played looking back because Charlamagne the God never told him that he works for Roc Nation. So this is the clip that Charlamagne the God is talking about. And this is where I believe Charlamagne the God and Ray Daniels stopped being cool and stopped being friends. And this is why Charlamagne the God feels comfortable in revealing the personal conversation that him and Ray Daniels had, because Ray Daniels revealed a personal conversation that they had.
Charlamagne, Jay-Z, him being a part of the Wayno announcing that Charlamagne's really an investor in Jay-Z's casino.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to look at. That's something to pay attention to. I just want to say that.
You want to go ahead and get into it real quick?
Well, for me, Charlamagne called me a little while ago about something I said about Jay, right? We just talked, right? Like, I love Charlamagne. He's one of my idols. I tell him that. And he was like, kind of correct me about something I said about Jay. And I was like, cool. I just heard him. And he was like, I don't work with him, you know? And I was like, and I believed him. I still believe him. I don't believe he works with him, but that is weird that y'all in business together on a casino and you don't say that. That's to me, this is the first time where I'm like, Charlamagne, you tripping, bro. Like, you give it to everybody. It's time to give it to you now, bro. Like, how are you talking about this casino and now all of a sudden they saying you're an investor in it? He got to respond to that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He has to, bro. In my opinion, it's like, that's like a big deal right now.
Because he been getting on academics' head about, you know, Drake and all them with Steak and all of the things that they be doing. But
yeah. He made me look at my Jay-Z take differently. Like, he made me look at my Jay-Z take differently. It's like, and by the way, I still believe that he's speaking from the heart. But when you speak from the heart, you still should give certain details. Like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm in the casino business with him, even just for the record, right? Just, you have to throw it out there. But when you don't and someone does, it looks like you're hiding it.
Right.
And Charlamagne is a nigga that digs for information. So why are you hiding that? That's the only thing I'm like, that's just something to bring up.
Anybody?
You have to understand and be reminded of the climate at the time to fully understand why Charlamagne the God would despise and hate Ray Daniels for saying something that brief. The climate at the time was when Charlamagne the God and DJ Academics was battling for the narrative. Academics was anti-Roc Nation. Charlamagne the God was pro-Roc Nation. They was battling for the narrative. And that's the week that essentially when Wayno came and said, yo, Charlamagne the God, you know, was working on a casino bid with Roc Nation, that gave Academics an edge, and people began to run with that, calling Charlamagne the God biased. It felt like the narrative had completely ran away from Charlamagne the God. It felt like Academics was in charge, and that's before their debate. So when it felt like the narrative was completely gone and ran away and Charlamagne the God was like behind the 8 ball, Ray Daniels saying this kind of helped to bury Charlamagne the God that week. So Charlamagne the God remembers, yo, when I was out here fighting for my life for the narrative, you was helping who Charlamagne believes is the ops to win the narrative war, all right? Even after the debate that Charlamagne the God had with Academics, Ray Daniels came on his podcast and essentially lended his help and his voice, right, to push DJ Academics' narrative against Charlamagne the God, and Charlamagne the God took this personally as well.
Charlamagne is my GOAT of media. He always had 100%. After that interview, I got to give him 98. And the only reason why is because, so when you've been doing media this long, you know what you want from it, right? Charlamagne was coming to discredit Act. He was coming to discredit Act, and the second thing he was trying to do was to get Act in the room with them folks. Like, and it was weird because I've always been like a Charlamagne fan, so watching how he would like kill people and hear him say he loved somebody was like interesting to me. He's like, I love Dez. I've never met Dez. I don't know Dez. I've been in the music business. I don't know how long she's been in it, but when you're in the music business, there's certain people you get warned about. Like, don't play with them. I've never met Dez, but I've never heard anybody speak positive about her. Like, they liked her. It was always like, don't with her. She get busy. So to see Charlamagne on a huge interview like that saying, I love her, I love her, I love her. To me, it says, yeah, you with them for real. Like, and it's hard to be with them and be against them. That's why it's really hard to be their friend. Right. Because if you're their friend, you move the way they move and how they move. So when I watch the interview, I'm always trying to figure out what they wanted from it, right? And to me, Charlamagne wanted to discredit Act. And Act was trying to Act is like the kid in the room. So they want him to seem like he's paranoid. Like, what are you talking about? You think they're trying to get you? I think Act understands because he carries the celebrity with him, right? So I think he kind of knows like, yo, people are really hurt me if I was in certain positions in certain worlds. So I think Act understands like he's not favorited like by society, right? You know, Charlamagne is kind of like Mr. Cognito and Dr. Evil. I don't know if I'm saying the names right, from X-Men.
X-Men, yep.
So it's like they kind of like those two guys where it's like he kind of mentored Professor X.
Professor X and Magneto.
And Magneto, yeah. Like they feel like Professor X and Magneto. That's who Charlamagne and that's so like they're goats in media. So I'm watching it obviously for so many reasons, but Charlamagne gets 98% for me now because he is with them and he didn't say it and he found a way around it, so he addressed it.
So Charlamagne the God will explain during his Donkey of the Day, he believes that Ray Daniels only said that to discredit him so the fans won't trust him. So not only do he believe that Ray Daniels kind of misspoke, in his words, but he also believed that Ray Daniels intentionally did that, not just for entertainment, but he did that to intentionally discredit Charlamagne the God. Now, I don't know why Ray Daniels would be invested in trying to discredit Charlamagne the God, so I do think that's a tad bit off base. I think Ray Daniels was simply trying to do the best podcast he could do. Now, if that podcast came at Charlamagne the God's expense, it did, but I don't think Ray Daniels was doing this on purpose from my perspective.
Okay, here's a pro tip, all right? Instead of saying matter-of-factly Jay-Z album is done, how about say someone told you? Or you don't know if this is true or not, but this is what you heard, okay? If you carry it like that, then it really doesn't damage your reputation or credibility in this space. But when you say it the way you said it, as if you in the studio sitting next to Guru, okay, while the track list is being arranged, as if you in the marketing meetings listening to what the rollout plan is, okay, if you say it like that, if you say it like you 100% know what you're saying is the truth, that's when you lose credibility, okay? You lose credibility as a media personality by breaking the trust your audience places in your accuracy, independence, and integrity. That's what y'all try to do to me when you say I work for Roc Nation, okay? You want the audience to not trust my independence and integrity. But what about your integrity, Ray Daniels? For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain a few clicks, go viral a little bit, and lose his own soul, okay? I know we in an era where people think all publicity is good publicity, but it's not, okay? Because negative attention can destroy consumer trust, all right? Ray, this might be some people's first time hearing about you. And now they know you as the guy who's loud and wrong. That can cause damage to your brand or reputation, and that can take years to fix, okay? So if you're really the cultural referee, you won't get mad at any of this. You won't make excuses for any of this. You will simply get on your platform and tell everybody you got it wrong. Okay, integrity is making sure that the things you say and the things you do are in alignment. Okay, integrity is telling the truth and fixing mistakes. Let's see how you call this on yourself.
I won't be too harsh on Charlamagne the God because I feel like he's just saying this because, again, Ray Daniels came at him first, so it's more personal. I still do think this is still a defense of Roc Nation. So the primary reason of this is to still defend Roc Nation and Jay-Z. But probably like 30% is, this is personal, so I'm going to rub it in a little bit more, all right? Now, after Charlamagne the God, you know who also stepped into this battle, right? Ebro and Rob Markman. Now, I like Rob Markman. I like Ebro, right? So it's not personal. Now, Ebro created an argument that didn't exist and then created the defense for that argument, right? So Ray Daniels said nothing about flopping. He said nothing about Drake at all. He just said Jay-Z wants to partner up with somebody so he don't sell 60,000 copies first week. Ebro created the argument that people was going to be comparing Drake and Jay-Z's first week sales, and then went on to offer a defense for an argument only he created. So he could run PR for Roc Nation. This is like absurd, bro. Yo, y'all gotta relax, man.
Playing us Drake up here talking about my pen ain't dry, and he was he did a 24-hour stream, and he's done tons of marketing, had great success on these, and I dropped 3 on my head top and all of this. But he's had great success with the music, right? And I guess it should be noted that there's a back and forth between those two. Are we concerned that like the Drake stans are gonna attack Hove if it's like what is that concern about first week sales?
I don't know that Jay is concerned. I think once you get to that's gonna be a conversation for sure. Let's not skate past that. There are people who will clown whatever that number is. Let's go back though. First week sales aren't even sales. They're streams. I still don't know why we take what is streaming and do this equivalent thing. Call the thing a thing. It's just my opinion. So, but yeah, people will clown the numbers. I think Jay is in a space where who cares? And Jay may do fantastic, amazing numbers, but who cares? Like I feel like at this point, either you have something to say musically, or you don't. Like, I don't know that he's putting albums out just to put them out now.
Well, we often have covered here, wrong chart, champ.
Right.
And so thinking about the metrics of things, how things are measured, right? Because, me, I'm a person, and I make this comparison all the time that, the best things aren't necessarily the things that sell the most, using the McDonald's hamburger comparison.
Nobody has yet to say that Jay-Z is going to flop. DJ Academics haven't said it. Ray Daniels haven't said it. Nobody have yet to say Jay-Z is going to flop. So to create this narrative that Jay-Z flopping is like this conversation that's like, that's like so loud in the culture that you just have to respond to it and give your take. Nah, bruh. You created the argument that Jay-Z is going to flop, and that is Drake fans that are rooting for it, right? As he would say in this video, that that is Drake fans that are rooting for Jay-Z flopping, right? He says it during his podcast at some point. Then he creates the defense. Nah, man, nobody cares about first week sales. Nah, man. Like, it don't matter when it comes to Jay. Nah, it don't, man. All right, man. Right? So to create the argument and then create the defense, and then essentially you're trying to get ahead of the narrative. I think they know something that we don't know. They know that them numbers for Jay is gonna look dark and grim. It sounds like they know something that we don't know, because I don't think any one of us have ever asked about Jay-Z's sales, nor do I care about Jay-Z's first week sales, but it looks like they know something that we don't know, and they know these numbers are gonna look grim for Jay-Z. So now everybody is getting ahead of the narrative. Oh, Jake, man. Nah. Huh? Wasn't y'all doing predictions on y'all podcast what Drake is gonna sell first week? Wasn't y'all doing predictions on what is Drake gonna sell first week, and is he gonna, surpass 600,000 or 405? Huh? But now first week sales don't matter because they ain't sales. Hey man, y'all cold, man. When it comes to Jay, y'all cold, man. First week sales ain't sales. Oh listen, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I gotta salute Rob, man, because that's the first time I ever heard that, man. First week sales ain't cold. Nah, that's a cold line right there, man. That's cold. First week sales ain't sales. Because
they sell a lot of hamburgers.
Yeah.
And people like McDonald's hamburgers. Not saying people don't like them, but they would never be in the conversation for best hamburger.
Right. At all. And when it goes to hip hop, I'm just a different type of fan. There's some fans who let the numbers and the metrics of things dictate their taste. Hey man, when Mos Def and Quali came together and did Black Star, I ran out to cop that. I was a fan of that, man. When Killer Mike dropped that Michael album,
Yeah.
it was a beautiful album. I was a fan of that. Dead Prez, Let's Get Free. Man, that album did a lot for me, and love that album. Classic to me. The set, and I couldn't tell you what those sold.
Right.
I couldn't tell you what any of those albums sold. I know the high regard that.
But even when we just celebrated Reasonable Doubt, I spent a lot of time up here talking about what that album didn't do when it came out and what it means now.
Right.
To just hip hop, full stop.
Right.
Right? It's a perfect example of cultural impact, having something to say, right? Doing it all for the right reasons, and then 30 years later, looking back and seeing a stadium full of people singing word for word, right? Every record, and it defining an era or defining a time in hip hop. You know, but it is tough to make those moments.
The audience is not going. They ain't going for this, man. Somebody says preemptively creating the imaginary argument and defense is crazy. See, I caught it. Jay-Z himself cares about numbers more than everybody else, all right? And they show where Jay-Z is talking about numbers like things such as, I sold what your whole album sold in my first week. I just got 10 number one albums, maybe now 11. 10 number one albums in a row. Who better than me? I saw, I conquered from record sales to sold out concerts. To me, this is the only, there's no better argument than this. The people saying that Jay-Z first week sales don't matter, when Jay-Z himself is saying that's how he gets his validation. His validation comes from his numbers and his first week sales. It should stop here. Like, what else should we show? What else should we show? What else? Jay himself is telling you his validation comes from his greatness, and how he knows his great come from those first week sales, those numbers. So if Jay don't go number one and don't do well first week, well then, that's a disappointment to Jay himself. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this, okay? Do y'all believe, all right, right, that Jay-Z don't care about first week sales, but let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this, okay? All right, is Roc Nation telling the truth? Is Ray Daniels capping? Let me know. All right, is Jay-Z first week sales important or not? Let me know, okay? Do you guys think Jay-Z is dead terrified of flopping? Let me know, okay? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here somewhere on my screen where I break down why Nolan Well friends, right, regret doing this interview with Officer Tatum, this new interview, right? They got exposed beyond repair, okay? I'm going to see you guys in this Nolan Wells friend video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.